Hey there, and welcome back to the Life with Old Dogs podcast. I am your host, Dawn Mimnaugh, primary caretaker and founding president of Woody's Place Senior German Shepherd Sanctuary. And I'm coming live right from the sanctuary, so no sound booth or anything like that. So if you're looking for superior audio quality, you're not going to get it here. You may hear barking dogs. You may hear the washer and dryer going. This is real life, folks. So Life with Old Dogs podcast is real life, and the dogs and all that are included. So enough of that. Getting right to what we're discussing today. So first of all, let me just clear something up. The last podcast episode, I believe I said we were having the folks of K&M Fitness on today to talk about workouts for yourself and your older dog, but my ADHD brain jumped ahead, and that is next week. So today we are talking about physical health and the importance of your physical health and caring for your older German Shepherd. So why is this important? So let me just back up a little bit here. We discussed so far your mental well-being while caring for your older German Shepherd and your diet while caring for your older German Shepherd. So of course we're going to talk about physical health because it's all intertwined. Okay, it's all a big. They're all pieces of the pie. And if you aren't, excuse me, if you aren't feeling well or focusing your attention to improve one area, then all the rest are going to suffer as well. So you need to have a good diet. Your mental well-being has to be in a good place, and your physical health also has to be in a good place in order to care for yourself while caring for your senior German Shepherd. Okay, so again, that's what this season is about. It's about caring for. You should always care for yourself, first of all. Okay, obviously we want to make the most of our lives, so we need to care for ourselves. So, but this is caring for yourself while caring for your senior German Shepherd, because older German Shepherds require more hands-on care than they did when they were 2 and 3 years old, for the most. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the physical aspect of it. So how do you take care of yourself physically? Do you go for a walk? Do you swim? Do you go to the gym? Do you do yoga, Pilates, karate, or do you sit? Or do you live a sedentary lifestyle? That would be a problem if you sat quite a bit throughout your day, your weeks, your months, your years, and you didn't use your body and try to enhance your physical health. Now, I'm not saying that you need to, go to the gym and power lift your body weight or anything like that. I'm not talking about that, and I'm not trying to shame anyone either. I don't want anyone thinking I'm trying to shame anyone. It's just that if you want to care for your aging German Shepherd who may or may not have mobility issues, but at some point most likely will have trouble getting up from a sitting position into a standing position, you need to take care of your own physical health, right? So here's what I do. I'm caring for older German Shepherds all the time, and it's not just one, it's several. Currently right now we have 5 in our care. We've had upwards of 8 at one time that I personally have cared for. And some people may think, oh, that's not a big deal, but it is, because they're all seniors and they all have their own special senior needs. So what I do is I go to the gym. I go to the gym. I do resistance training 3 times a week. I do cardio just about every day. And when I say cardio, I have a bike I love to ride my bike. That's nice. I have a treadmill in the other room, so I'll jump on the treadmill. I like to swim laps in a pool. That's pretty decent, especially during the winter months when getting outside to do stuff is a bit of a challenge. And I walk all the time. I am forever forever walking with the residents of Woody's Place. Now, right behind our house here, our property's sort of like divvied up into specific areas, if you will. Like we have our house, we have a yard right behind the house, the yard beside the house, the dog yard over here, a giant field over here, and then we have a creek that runs through the property. And behind that we have bridges, two bridges, foot bridges that go to the other part of the property. So we have like the middle part of our property, which when we bought the property, it was just all overgrown and gross, and we really couldn't do anything with it. So after 8 years, we finally have it manicured and nice, and we have like a walking path, walking trail around the whole middle part of the property, which is a pretty decent size. And then beyond that, we have woods that also we carved out trails in there as well. So I walk laps. I'll walk laps. So the residents, they're out there, you know, they're doing their thing, and I walk with them as well. Don't get me wrong, but I'll go walk laps while they're on their little snafaris, or they're laying under a tree, or rolling around in the field, or chasing a rabbit, whatever floats their boat. I have eyes on them. I can see them. We are totally fenced in, so they're not going anywhere. And I have the freedom to then walk the trail, or walk the trail and walk the paths through the woods. And I do it several times a day. So just like the senior dogs in my care, how they do short, frequent walks throughout the day, I'm out there walking several times throughout the day, even on days when I'm doing strength training. And I get tired. I mean, some days I just don't feel like doing it, and I get tired. And that's one of the perks about caring for a dog, regardless of the ages. They motivate you. You have to get up to let them out. You have to get up to give them water. You have to get up to feed them. You should be out walking them at least, one time a day for a really good walk, preferably a couple of times a day, or frequent times a day at a shorter duration. So they motivate you to get up and do these things, to be physically active, whether you feel like it or not. And like I said, there are days I just don't feel like it, or I don't have time. But I still that is a commitment to them that I make, that I fulfill, and it keeps me in shape physically. So win-win. So I do those things. And that's pretty much my physical exercise. I'm also a really active person. I'm just always in motion doing something. But that doesn't exactly equate physical health, just because, I'm constantly on my feet and moving, especially as we get older. And at the time of this recording, I am 54 years old. So, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And one thing that I've noticed over the last decade is that my muscle tone it's diminished. It's not as prevalent as it once was. So of course I look at my diet and I think, well, how can I feed my muscles the vitamins and nutrients that they need. So I talked about that in the other podcast, and then how can I increase my muscle mass by doing physical activity? Well, strength training is a big one. So a lot of people immediately go to cardio, and cardio is great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to it's not the only answer. You also have to do some sort of strength training or resistance training or something like that. So that's why I say I do that 3 times a week and then cardio the rest of the time. Now, why is this a big deal? I mean, it should be a big deal. You should aim to have a healthy lifestyle to get the most out of your life. But why is it a big deal? Well, because for me, one of my lifelong goals is I want to be a centenarian. I'm just like, that's a lifelong goal right there, and I want to be active. But I want to be total. Listen to me. I want to be totally healthy for the senior German Shepherds here at Woody's Place. I don't want to snub them for their walk because I'm not in the best shape that I could possibly be, because I just feel like laying around watching Netflix day after day, week after week, month after month. That's not a choice I want to make. I am very, very conscientious of that, and I live every day with purpose. And part of that purpose is to stay physically healthy to achieve my goal of caring for the senior German Shepherds here at Woody's Place. So that's number one. The other thing is, let's not even talk about caring for senior German Shepherds here. Let's just talk about you and going through your life and your physical health. So here's a little story about Mr. Woody's Place. Back in 2006, he was in a life-threatening accident. He fell off a roof, and he was in the ICU for quite some time, and he was really messed up. It wasn't just one injury he sustained, it was multiple, and he almost died. And after he was in the ICU for a little while, he got to come home to a hospital bed in our living room because he couldn't walk, he couldn't do stairs. So we had this hospital bed in our living room for months. We had nurses and therapists and all that coming in and out of our home to tend to his needs. And then he was in a wheelchair for almost a year. And it took him a long time to even get back to some normalcy, that he could walk without a cane, without being in a wheelchair, without the hospital bed, that in the living room, that he could actually go up the stairs to get into bed himself. He could have died, and he should have died, actually, considering everything that happened to him. But his physician said to me, the reason he's here is because he was in such good shape physically prior to his accident. Now, Mr. Woody's Place, ever since I've known him, and we met 32 years ago, he's always been an avid gym buff. And sometimes he didn't go. There were definitely points in his life where he, for whatever the reason, kind of fell off the wagon, but then always got back into it. But he was an avid gym buff at that time, and he was very, very physically fit. I mean, very physically fit. Like, he just had all the muscles popping out. All the girls loved it. But all kidding aside, he was in tip-top shape, and that saved his life. Being in tip-top shape, he was able to have the strength and the stamina to fight his way back to a life that was not exactly the way it was before his accident, but a whole lot better than being 6 feet under. And that's something that we have struggled with over the decades now since that accident. He is not 100%, but he is a whole lot better than if he didn't work out physically. I've heard other situations where physical health came into play when it came to an accident, and doctors have said the same thing. Well, they were in such good shape that that's what helped get them through the unfortunate situation that took place. So if you take care of yourself mentally, your diet, and physically, you stand a better chance of fighting off an injury or even an illness. So I would think you would want that for yourself anyway. But then here you have your older German Shepherd who, and again, I always go back to degenerative myelopathy because we have that a lot, but there's hip dysplasia, there's elbow dysplasia. I mean, there's arthritis, and they have trouble getting up off their bed into a standing position, or they are in a standing position and they're on a hard surface and their legs are kind of splaying out to the side and you have to run over and kind of prop them up. Or maybe they need help getting, on and off a sofa, in and out of a bed, in and out of a car, something along those lines. Maybe they can't stand to posture to pee or poop, and you have to, you have a harness for them. Hopefully you have a harness for them, and you have to hold them so that they're able to posture to poop or pee. Well, that requires strength to do that. I mean, you have to have a strong back, strong shoulders, strong neck. You have to have strength to be able to care for this older German Shepherd, or else it's just not going to work. This is why some rescues won't adopt a larger dog to older folks, because they have to be able to care for this older dog. Now, that's a whole different bag of tricks right there. I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, what I think about that. But I do know that there are rescues who won't adopt a bigger dog to older folks for that reason. So let's just talk about you and your older German Shepherd. So you want to be able to help, right? You want to be able to lift when needed, or just to support or prop up if needed, or to get your dog up in the car to go for a ride. Most of the time, your back is going to take the brunt of that assistance. So my back is toast. I have spinal stenosis in my back, and I have chronic Lyme disease. And whenever my Lyme is just nuts, my back is just, it's horrible. It hurts. So how do you get around that? If you have some sort of arthritis or Lyme disease or slip disc or herniated disc, obviously you don't want to hurt yourself while you're trying to care for this older German Shepherd. If you're to the point where you just can't do it and you're going to hurt yourself, don't. Okay, you need to enlist some help. You need to get a family member to help, get a neighbor to help, get somebody to help, but you shouldn't be doing it yourself, because obviously you don't want to make a bad situation worse. If you're like me, where you're still managing fine, and you can still do it, but you know it's there, it's not good, and your back is bothering your neck or whatever, your shoulders, whatever the case may be, and you can honestly say to yourself, I don't really work out. I mean, I don't do cardio. I don't go to the gym. I don't swim in a pool. I don't ride a bike. I don't do any of that stuff. It's just not for me. You may want to consider it. If you want to continue on with your older German Shepherd, because I can tell you now, if your German Shepherd is, has mobility issues, it's not going to get any easier the older he gets. So you may want to consider incorporating some sort of a fitness routine into your lifestyle. And here's the thing. And I had somebody ask me one time when I was on, I don't know, I can't even remember what it was. Like, just, let's say it was the elliptical or something at the gym. And I can get on that, and I can go for a long time on the elliptical machine. Do I love it? Oh God, no. I hate it. It is not my thing at all. Like, I do not love it. And this woman said to me, like, how do you get on that and do that for so long? And I said to her, it's funny, like, I don't like it. It's just not my thing at all. I find it incredibly boring. Like, I just am so bored. while I'm at the gym working out. It's just, so there's that. But then there's the building up the endurance to, and the mindset really, just to do it. So I am a firm believer in just doing it. I know that sounds really cliche. I mean, there's a whole marketing campaign around the whole just do it thing, right? But it is the truth. I never get up each day and go, ooh, goody, I'm going to the gym today. It's just not my thing. It's really not. But it is a necessity. All right? It's like eating well. I mean, are there times that I just want to pig out on Reese's peanut butter cups and drink a cherry Coke? Yeah. But I don't do it all the time. I do it sometimes, but I have that discipline not to do that all the time because I know I'm going to end up paying for it in the long run. It's the same thing with a physical fitness plan. There are some people who love it, okay, but I'm not one of those people. But I do have the discipline to follow suit and follow through with my plan to stay physically healthy, because I look at these older German Shepherds, and there's 3 around me right now in my care, and it's not even about me really. It's about them, and I want to be able to care for them. So you have to build up that mindset that, okay, I'm not going to love this, but I'm going to do it because I want to care for my older German Shepherd. I want to make sure he's, as comfortable as he can possibly be for as long as possible. And that means I have to get on that elliptical for 35 minutes, every other day or whatever. Then that's what I'm going to do. And that's what you have to build yourself up to. If an elliptical is not your thing, if lifting free weights is not your thing, there are other things that you can do. Swimming is a great workout, and it's fun. I know a lot of people, who just love to swim, and you don't even have to swim laps. You don't even have to get in the pool and swim laps if that's not your thing. That's another thing I do. I don't love that either, but I get in and I do it for however long I'm supposed to do it. But there's classes at most YMCAs that there's weightlifting in the pool, and they're not like heavy duty, going to build huge big muscles weights. It's just like water resistant weights. And I see lots of women who are not twice my age. That's an exaggeration because I'm 54 now, but easily in their 70s in these classes doing those workouts. And not only are they taking care of their physical health, they're having a great time. I mean, I like watching those classes because they're just having a great time. They're like I said, taking care of their physical health. They're joking, they're laughing, they have music playing. The instructor makes the class a lot of fun. So if actually going to the gym and lifting weights or using like the resistance machines, which is what I do, is not your thing, there are other solutions. Yoga is another great activity for building your physical health, and making you flexible as well, which is phenomenal. Pilates, that's another one. So again, when I'm saying working out, I don't want you thinking, get on a bench press and, lift your body weight or or anything like that. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about actually doing a physical regimen that is appropriate for you, for your age, for your lifestyle, for any medical or physical ailments that you may have. And you would need to speak with your doctor about that first, and maybe a trainer, a personal trainer. And again, the folks from K&M Fitness are coming on here next episode to talk about a few of those things that hopefully you'll be able to pick up some information on, a workout for you and your older German Shepherd or your older dog in general. So the bottom line is you want to keep yourself in, tip-top shape would be great, but the best physical health level you can be at for your age and for your physical yeah, for your physical level. And what I mean by that is maybe you were in an accident, so you cannot do certain things. Maybe you have herniated discs again, so you cannot do certain things because that would make those ailments worse. All right, so at the end of the day, just move. Just get up and move your body. Move your body, right? Use it or lose it. I mean, we've all heard this before, okay? The more we sit, the more we live that sedentary lifestyle where we're just sitting and watching TV, or sitting and reading, or just sitting for whatever the reason. You get up out of bed, you know, get your coffee, you sit down, maybe you get up to go to the bathroom and then you sit back down. I mean, I see this a lot in my job when I'm going in and out of people's homes for different reasons, and I see the folks who are just not well, and they live that lifestyle where they're just sitting, and they're really unhealthy, not just physically but mentally too, and emotionally. And if they have a dog, I look at the dog, and a lot of the times I see, oh, yep, the dog's really overweight too. The dog's not in great shape. Dog doesn't even look happy sometimes. So they want to be up and moving to the best of their ability as well. I mean, even these old timers that we have here at Woody's Place, even little Miss Brandy, who really most of her days are behind her at this point, she still gets up from the living room, which is all the way over on the other side of the house, and that's pretty far for her, because she walks through the house, which is long. Our house is like 72 foot long. It's long. And she walks all the way through the living room. She walks, because she loves laying out in the living room with cats. She walks all the way through there, the dining room, the kitchen, down a hallway, through the laundry room, down a couple steps, and out the back door right here. And again, that's far. But that's her choice. That's what she chooses to do. I don't make her do that. She chooses to do that. And then she doesn't take walks with us anymore, which really makes me sad. But she does go outside, right back here, either into the dog yard or the yard behind the house here. And she just kind of like meanders around a little bit. She'll go around the potting shed. She'll sniff around. She'll walk along the edge of the fence. And then she comes back in. So she does what she is capable of doing at this point. And she does that about 4 or 5 times a day. Are there things on her that are probably hurting her at this point? Unfortunately, yes. Just like my back. I mean, these things aren't going to go away. The older we get, and we're susceptible to more things hurting on our body, these things are not going to go away. It's age. It's our bodies wearing down, okay? But I can tell you that if you incorporate some sort of physical workout into your lifestyle 3 times a week, you're going to feel better. I mean, I do. And like I said, my back hurts, you know, my back bothers me. But I do know if I don't go and work out, do some sort of a workout, it's worse. And then that affects my mental well-being, which affects my diet. And then I don't feel like taking care of the dogs, even though I have to. I mean, I don't want to have to take care of these dogs. I want to enjoy taking care of the residents here at Woody's Place. I don't want to have to trudge through the day like, oh, I just feel like crap. Everything hurts. My hands hurt. My back hurts. Now I got to go walk these dogs again. You know, I don't want to do that. And if I ever get to that point, then I'm not going to do Woody's Place anymore. So that's what I'm getting at. You do have to like push through that, actually getting yourself out there, figuring out what it is that you want to do and what you're capable of doing. And again, speak with your doctor, hire a personal trainer, or go join the YMCA and join a class and speak with a professional there and find out what you're capable of doing, and then go do it. And again, you're going to have to, kind of build yourself up to it. And there's something interesting about that. So in the beginning, you're excited, right? You get in there and you're like all excited and everything. You're like, oh, I'm going to get myself, my physical health in tip-top shape, and I'm going to start feeling really good and yada, yada, yada. And it's like a honeymoon in a marriage. It only lasts for so long, and then reality sets in. Right? And you're like, oh, today's Tuesday. It's gym day. Great. I gotta go. It's crappy out. I don't feel like getting out of my pajamas, let alone into gym attire and sweating in it, but I gotta go do it. And you have to work through that. You have to work through that. And some days it's just not going to be there. Are there days that I don't go? Not really, but yeah, there are some, like every once in a while it's like I really don't want to do this, or I just don't have the time, or something else is going on. But for the most, I punch through that, and I work through it. And I'm the type of person who would rather, I'm very big into commitment, number one. And I'm the type of person that would, if it's something I don't want to do, like working out sometimes, I want to look at it in my rear view as quickly as possible. I don't want to, postpone and delay or do a little here, a little there, or whatever. I just want to punch right through it and see ya. It's done. I'll see you 2 days from now. And it's good to have that kind of mentality. So you have to work through it. You have to work through getting your mindset ready to go for that physical workout 3 days a week or whatever. If it's hard and it's something you can't work through yourself, then get a workout buddy. There's lots of people who go to the gym. I mean, if you can't find anybody in your circle, either your family or your friends or whatever, go to the gym and meet people, and then have one of them be your support system, and you be their support system. Where if you find that you haven't been to the gym or your Pilates class or swim class or whatever, and a week has passed and you just don't feel like doing it, have somebody like that can call you and say, hey, come on, let's just go and get it over with. I'll be there. We'll have fun. Maybe we'll go out and get coffee afterwards or something. Kind of make like a date out of it. And that's how you get through it. But at the end of the day, you're doing this not only for your own health, but also because you're caring for this older German Shepherd who needs you. All right? And some people may think, well, if they can't get up, or they're having trouble getting up, or they can't get in and out of a car by themselves, maybe it's just time to say goodbye. Well, that's not always the case. All right? And I that is something else I hear a lot. That is not always the case. That doesn't mean that your older German Shepherd doesn't have quality of life still. It just means they need a little extra support. That's all. And we're probably going to get there too at some point in time, most of us anyway, that we're going to need a little extra assistance. Maybe even just walking. Maybe, some people, unfortunately my mom, sometimes, she doesn't have great balance, and she'll stumble and she'll fall. My mom falls quite a bit, and it's very concerning for me. And I always try to get her to go to the gym or something along those lines. I've even taken her, but she just doesn't want to. So, you can't make somebody do something they don't want to do. But that's a concern, the fact that her core isn't strong, and she pays for it because she stumbles and she falls. So again, that's a big concern. That's a big concern for me, and it's also a lesson. And I'm not judging my mom at all. It is totally her choice, and my mom comes from a different generation, and she's set in her ways. So that's totally fine if that's the way she wants to be. But what I've learned from her, I've learned lots of things from my mom. Of course, I love my mom. She's a great lady. But what I've learned is that I'm going to not do that. I'm going to try to do my best to make sure that when I'm her age, that I'm not losing my balance and falling because I don't work out. I want to go down fighting. I want to go down fighting, and I want to take care of these older German Shepherds here in my care, and the ones that come after them, for as long as I possibly can. And that means that I have to keep myself as physically fit as possible. Am I as physically fit as a 21-year-old? No, not even close. Do I have rolls? I do. But am I in good shape for my age? Yeah, I am. And I'm proud of that because I work hard for it. So that's what you want to strive for. You want to strive to be as healthy as you can possibly be in your stage of life. And that's what I'm trying to do, again, so I can help the senior German Shepherds of Woody's Place go on to live their best life for as long as possible. All right. I hope that didn't come off too preachy. I certainly didn't mean for it to come off preachy at all. Wasn't trying to use my mom as a bad example or anything like that. Just stating the obvious, really. I mean, she'll even tell you that. So, so next week, again, we are going to be talking with Colleen from K&M Fitness, and she's going to come on here, and we're going to talk about a workout. Some physical fitness exercises that you can do for yourself that's going to help you take care of you and take care of your older German Shepherd. All right. So again, hope this episode wasn't too preachy. Get out there and do something. Okay. Not saying pump some iron, just get out there and do something that's going to move your body, loosen you up, maybe build some or tone some muscles and keep you in a better place physically. All right, folks, that's all I have. Until next